guys, welcome to another episode of Sidian Bank. Today we'll be discussing about customer experience. My name is Martha Kareithi, Customer Experience and Marketing Department.
Hi, how you doing? My name is Albert Minja. I'm in Thika branch, part of branch banking.
Hi, my name is Joy Moremi, Customer Onboarding, Shared Services.
So today we'll kickstart our conversation with the importance of teamwork in customer service. I personally feel teamwork is important because one, it brings about accountability. Mm-hmm. You know who is supposed to do what in that department. Everyone is assigned a specific role, but then again, in the roles being assigned, it also brings about the gelling so that the processes are seamless. You have no bickering in the department. One does not have to go and say, oh no, that was not my work to do. You know, like what they say is, work assigned to everyone is work not done. True. So I feel teamwork brings about accountability. Mm-hmm. It also ensures there's a seamless flow of the process when it comes to how roles or services are executed in that particular department.
I can also add and say it reduces the back and forth between branches and also reduces the negative impact on customers.
Yes, I agree. Maybe Albert, you can add something and.
Oh yeah, okay, cool. From my experience in customer service, I think you're only as stronger as your weakest link. I don't know if that makes any sense. In terms of customer service, I mean everyone has a role to play. So you're always supporting each other to get to fulfill the client's needs. Yeah. So it's communication. Communication is very, very crucial. Yeah. So you just have to have a very vibrant communication between all of you, the whole line, and yeah, just ensuring that the client's needs are fulfilled. And yeah, it's just basically communication.
I also feel like if there's no teamwork, there's a possibility of having outcome that is not streamlined. Maybe one scenario you have X outcome, in another scenario you have Y outcome, and if there's teamwork, then you can have an outcome that is uniform. Also, it goes to shows to your customers that you're organized and that you are gelled well. There's no confusion in your organization.
I get it, I understand. From the department that I'm in, customer onboarding, I always say to ensure that we have the right customer service, from the branch, my feel is we need to get it right the first time. Yeah. We need to understand our policies, we need to understand the customer needs, so that when addressing the issues that have been brought forth by the customer, we get it right the first time. Yeah. For instance, if it's an account opening, if you're opening an account for the customer, you need to know the requirements, because the minute the customer walks out without you getting all the documentations right, by the time it's coming to an end, then we return it back to the customer, we return it back to the branch, there's going to be a lot of back and forth. When the branch goes back to the customer will see, as if we did not know what was required of us while opening the account. Yeah. So my take is, if we get it right from the branch, we are going to reduce the back and forth and maybe give good or perfect customer service to them.
Like I feel like it's very important for the client to have the whole access to information, to know what they need pertaining to whatever it may account or whatever. Yeah, in terms of time management to prevent the back and forth, you know what usually happens, and they get frustrated at some times. So just ensuring that they have everything. So yeah, just giving them everything that they need. The first time, as she said, first time everything. Yeah.
Maybe to add on what Albert is saying, if we as branches or as staff in the bank should know is first understand the product that you're offering the customer, understand the requirements of that product, understand the onboarding journey. Yeah. If it's account opening, if it's a loan application, if it's a credit card application, just make sure that you've articulated the right information to the customer. Yeah. Do not overpromise. I'd rather you underpromise and overscore than overpromise and underscore. Being a back office staff or a department that does processing, for me to, or for my department to improve in the customer service, I think as a department, among the strategies that we normally have in place is picking of calls from branches, because we know branches are the front-facing staff.
Yeah.
So if we do not pick their calls, we are not going to solve their issues. And not solving the branches' issues is going to impact negatively on the customers.
Yeah.
So one of the strategies is picking calls from the branches, timely responding to emails.
Yeah.
So you'd find a case where a customer has come, he or she has brought instructions, they're very urgent, and they're, as much as TAT might be, let's say for account opening is 4 hours, for dormant activation is, let's say, 30 minutes or 1 hour, the customer needs that activation to be done there and then. So when the branches normally send us emails to do for the urgent instructions, we make sure as a department that we've actioned upon those instructions, so that we can reduce the negative or bad impact on the customer. The other thing I would add is make sure there's continuous training in branches. With the trends that are happening in the industry, things are always changing every now and then. So we make sure that there's continuous training in branches, so that we are not left behind as a bank, and we're also not left behind as staff with what is happening in the banking industry. So maybe Albert, you can tell us an example of how you dealt with a difficult customer from the branch, how it negatively impacted you as a person, also how it negatively impacted the branch, and what do you think we could have done better as a back office staff?
Wow. For me, I've had very many challenges, like during my whole time at the customer service desk. Like, you have clients who I call them character builders, because they will build your patience. You know what I mean? It's like you just see a client, you're like, hey, patience has come to challenge you. But what I've learned is, first and foremost, a smile is the universal language. The universal language. You might not communicate in the same language, or maybe you might maybe my accent might sound different, and as opposed to areure or whatever. I'm just joking, but so just first of all, just smiling first as they bring out their issue, listening to them. What I've learned is, let a client speak, let a client everything, let them talk. Don't interrupt them. Don't try and feel like you know better, because he has something very valuable to say. You know what I mean? He has something very valuable to say. So I've just learned to listen, and then actually listen to him, let him speak, and then now let me address his issues slowly. I'm blessed that I have a good relationship, I believe, with our head office, which I believe that's very positive. So communicating with them and just telling them, like, okay, this issue is very urgent, it needs to be resolved. So I call. Thank you. You're always swift to address, and just saying what can be addressed, but also they need to be aware about the policies and everything. You know, all those things are very important, because of course, you know, banking is banking. But it's been a very nice journey, because customer service is about people, and you know, people can be very different. But it's I mean, it's good. I don't know if I've mentioned, like, I don't know if I'm making sense what I'm saying.
Maybe
I'm making sense, yeah.
Empathy. Empathy goes a long way when you're dealing with customers. If a customer comes with an issue and they are really complaining, just try and put yourself in their shoes. Try and make them feel or understand that you're feeling them, you're understanding them. You're getting to understand their issue. You're getting to know where they're coming from. Once you put yourself in that position, you'll be in a place to help. You'll be in a place to even call favors, because some things, as much at the end of the day, banking is all about working with policies and the procedures. But at times, we are forced to assist the customer against the policies and procedures. So how do you go about it? If it's seeking approvals, you need to know what channel should I use to seek those approvals. If it's someone you need to call, so when calling for these favors, I think you should just look at it in terms of, who am I supposed to talk to? Who should I write an email to? Who should I call? And how am I supposed to address this issue so that it can be effected effected on upon in a faster and or a timely manner.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, customers, what do you call it? Being customer centric, like understanding how I can resolve. So I've had many.
Noting that you're also customers in other banks, right?
Exactly.
You see, at the
Yeah.
end of the day, we need to understand that these customers are multi-banked. They
Yeah.
are not only banking with us, they're also banking with other banks. The same way, personally, or even us here, we are also multi-bank. So the service that you're not getting in Bank A, you can also get it in Bank
Bank
B.
B,
Having
yeah.
that in mind, you need to give customers, you need to make sure the customer experience is good such that the customer does not opt for Bank B, whereas us as a bank can also offer that service.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, just to add on what you just said about empathy, because personally I deal with clients over the phone. And clients are quicker to call than walk into branches nowadays, because with everything on digital platforms, you find clients can stay for months without going to the branch. So something that you need, or rather a skill that most of us have put on CVs, is emotional intelligence.
Sure.
You need to have your emotions in control. I've had clients call and insult me, and in as much as you want to hang that phone, you can't.
True.
As Albert has said, you just need to listen. Once they have articulated their issues, then you need to also calm down. What I do is I mute my mic and I count 1, 2, 3, and then now I start addressing that issue. Because let's be real, we are humans.
True.
Yes, so you have to use that skill, emotional intelligence. You really need it, and you need to be sure you will not respond in the same energy the client has come to you with. You, of course, as a banker, you have been trained on the TATs, the SLAs, you've been trained on the policy and the procedures, but does the client understand that?
No, they don't.
The clients want their thing done. So you have to find a balance between that. Also, to add on it, because we also deal with clients on social media, Twitter, Facebook, you really have to have, or rather be delicate on how you respond. We've had incidences of clients sending DMs in maybe caps. You know, we all know if someone sends a text in caps, it's like they are shouting. You can't shout back. That's a client. Maybe they're disappointed, they wanted a loan and they're not able to access the loan. And so you just need to find a delicate balance. You need to check before you respond. What I usually do is I read my response in all tones. I will try put some anger in it. So does it sound angry? How am I responding? Does it sound that I am professional, but also I am trying to empathize with their situation? Yes. So you can't have one of answers that you give to clients. You really need to get into that character and really respond according to the request that a client is asking or sending to you. I don't know if you have dealt with it, Albert, and how you've had to handle it, especially via emails.
Interestingly enough, I don't think I've dealt a lot with it via emails. Maybe conversations over phone, and on a personal level. I mean, not a personal, but physical level, where a client is livid about some situation. I mean, that's most of the people I interact with who are a bit livid. So social media, not necessarily. Emails, no. Yeah, I mean, yes. Maybe I'm fortunate, not like you, who sees social media. I'm very fortunate, but yeah. But I mean, even that being in a physical space, I'm fortunate. I've never had a very serious, I wouldn't say altercation, but it's always simmered down. As me, I mean, I can summarize it in terms of a client just needs to be heard. You just summarize it like that, and then after he's heard everything, I mean, Achilia, he's breathed in, breathed out. He has all the names he can call you. He'll calm down. And then now that's when logic steps in, and then now you can reason together and resolve it and meet as a place where let me help you out. So yeah, and it's been beautiful. Yeah.
So maybe to ensure that we have minimal or less customer complaints, my suggestion, it would be number one, getting it right the first time.
Yeah.
Number two, continuous training in branches, continuous training with their business team, so that once they receive or they get instructions from the customers or the information that we are relaying to customers as staff of the bank, it's correct information. If it's requirements, we've given them the correct requirements so that we can avoid the back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe the other thing is staff recognition for the people who are doing the right thing, or for the people whose customer, for example, the business teams. For the business teams whose customers are not have less complaints, maybe have staff recognitions for that particular staff, and maybe that staff can share with us as a bank what they normally do, so that their customers do have less complaints.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining in this conversation. I hope we've given valuable insights on customer service. Follow us in our below social media handles, and happy Customer Service Week.